Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It is episode 207, Weather Weekly. Good to be with you here as we enter into the last full week of the month of the year, and it is the holiday week. Hopefully you have a blessed one as we gear up for the busy travel season, whether you are going far away, you're going just a few houses down, or you got some loved ones coming in. We'll talk about how the weather may impact that here over the next several days. And I can tell you right now, if you have been dreaming of a white Christmas, I don't think it's going to be in the cards for you, at least in central Indiana this year. But there will be some parts of the country that could experience some new snowfall between now and the holiday on Wednesday. So a lot to talk about. We will time all of it out in the week ahead. It is for Christmas and Hanukkah week, December 23rd, 2024. It's coming up next here on Weather Weekly.
Looking for ways to save on your energy bills? AES Indiana has you covered. From smart thermostats to home energy assessments, we offer simple solutions to keep your home comfortable and your costs down. AES can help you save money and energy with kits, tips, rebates, and more. Visit aesindiana.com/ways to save to learn more about how we can help you save money. AES Indiana, helping you discover real ways to save.
Credit Karma is your evolved financial assistant, making managing your finances simpler and more tailored to you. Join us at creditkarma.com to start your personalized financial journey today and continue to grow with our innovations. Credit Karma, evolve your finances.
Episode 207 of Weather Weekly, the week ahead for December 23rd, 2024. Let's go ahead and dive in and walk you through this here. I know this is it's a weird week for a lot of people. No school for the kiddos, and a lot of people off. Not everybody. I'm with you. If you're one of those, if you have to work this week, I'll be there right there with you. So my wife picked jobs where it doesn't shut down during the holidays, so we know how that goes. So we'll get you through this forecast here, which it could be a little active if you are going to be traveling. So that can present its own problems. But, you know, I was talking to somebody at church this weekend and you know, everybody always wants to ask about, we want a white Christmas. And I think, you know, it's always the dream, but in that sense, you know, it does make things quite difficult. I know it makes it look pretty, but if it starts snowing Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, that kind of presents a whole host of issues when it comes to traveling. So there's some good and bad with all of this here. Let's go ahead and start with Monday, the 23rd. A lot of the day, I think, is going to be pretty quiet. We do have some chances for showers. I think that's mainly going to be into the afternoon hours. It's going to be quite isolated. I do think it's going to be kind of a gray day for your Monday with some low to mid-level clouds and temperatures slightly above average. After a chilly weekend, we'll finish with highs probably somewhere into the low to mid 40s, which is pretty impressive because we've got, you know, a lot of cloud cover here moving in, and we are coming off a pretty cold weekend here. So the light rain and the drizzle, I think, will continue Monday night. There might be some areas of fog. The air is going to be awfully saturated. And I think as we kind of get deeper into the overnight hours, you may start to expand on some of those showers. A lot of that's going to happen probably before midnight, okay? Lows will be dipping down into the mid 30s. Christmas Eve is on Tuesday. And as we go into your Tuesday, I think a lot of it's mostly cloudy. We're generally dry. There could be a few showers here and there for the daytime hours as we go into the day. So especially in the western portions of the state, it appears And we're going to get some more milder air that's going to be kind of settling in here for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Now, you may not see that too much on Tuesday. It'll be slightly warmer than Monday. I've got highs into the low 40s still, maybe some mid 40s. And then a chance of showers as we go into your Tuesday night with lows into the mid 30s. So a chilly rain heading into Tuesday night. Let's go into Christmas Day. That's Wednesday. It's also the beginning of Hanukkah at sundown Wednesday evening. We'll have some light precipitation for Christmas Day in the morning. I do think that there's a chance for maybe some steadier showers kind of sliding in here for the afternoon. Winds are going to be calm. Temperatures aren't going to be terrible, but I mean, still cool. So it'll be a chilly rain, highs into the mid 40s. Some areas down in the southern portions of central Indiana could make a run near 50 degrees. So just kind of, quick recap. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday all have chances for rain, none of which to be heavy rain. It's going to be enough to dampen the roads. I don't think it's going to be enough to create serious delays, say if you're leaving from the Indianapolis International Airport. I don't think it's going to be a tremendous issue if you're going to be just traveling around either central Indiana or the Midwest in general. It will be enough to have some wet roads, so there'll be some spray. You'll have the windshield wipers moving, so use some caution. But I don't. You're not going to be dealing with heavy rain or anything like that. You won't be dealing with slick spots in terms of ice or snow. So that's the good news. Okay. Let's head into Thursday, day after Christmas, December 26th. Again, another day where we'll probably be dealing with cloudy skies and a slight chance for showers, very spotty, but I don't think it's widespread. And highs will be back into the low 50s, believe it or not. So even though it'll be pretty gloomy, we're still pretty mild. We'll see more scattered showers after midnight Thursday night with lows into the mid 40s. The best chance for precipitation that we see is coming Friday and into the weekend. All right. You've got a system that's going to start sliding in from the Central Plains, and I think it brings widespread rain to the area on Friday. I also think it probably lingers on into Saturday. All right. And we could potentially get some heftier numbers, and I'll speak on that in a second. Scattered showers, though, likely. And again, maybe some heavier pockets of rain. Very mild Friday, highs into the mid-50s. Rain chances likely continue Friday night with lows only in the upper 40s. And then I'm going to lean more on rain likely on Saturday with highs into the mid and upper 50s. And again, just like Friday, I think you could be dealing with some heavier bouts of rain. So it's going to be kind of like a 1-2 punch, if you will, going into Friday and into the weekend. In terms of the 7-day rainfall, and again, a lot of this is probably going to end up coming Friday into Saturday. About a half an inch to an inch of rainfall is expected, and that's pretty much statewide. Lighter amounts to the north, heavier amounts down along the Ohio River. So some pretty beefy numbers. And again, we're going to have some milder temperatures, but we've been back and forth a lot. So, the ground isn't completely thawed, nor will it be, even though we're going to warm things up. So we'll run into that problem that we ran into early in the week, last week, where we had some pretty heavy rain and there was a lot of standing water because of the frozen ground. So it didn't have anywhere to really go. And so there could be some isolated flooding issues. Just be aware of that. I don't think we're going to, it's not horrible. We're not talking 2-3+ inches of rainfall. But there'll be some standing water in areas that are kind of prone to that. And maybe even some areas that aren't, just because of the frozen ground. Okay. Again, temperatures are going to be pretty warm, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. And then heading into Sunday, last weekend of the year, I think there'll still be maybe some leftover showers. I certainly think it's going to be kind of gloomy. We'll have highs into the mid 50s to wrap up the weekend. So that'll take you through over the next week or so. So kind of active, but if you are traveling, again, I don't think it's going to be overly problematic in terms of trying to get around just because of the mild temperatures. It's going to be too warm for anything. Now, those of you that are traveling outside of, the state of Indiana, where will you run into snow for this holiday week? Michigan. If you're going up to Detroit, I think there's going to be some snow there. The northern portions of the mitten of Michigan, okay? The UP of Michigan, parts of northern Wisconsin, northern half of Pennsylvania, most of New York. We'll see some snow. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We'll see some snow accumulation. I think places like New York City, Newark, Boston could see snow, but I don't know if we're going to see a whole lot in terms of accumulation. So I don't think that's going to present major travel problems if your flights kind of go those directions, okay? And a lot of that's going to happen Christmas Eve, Christmas Day in terms of snowfall up into the north and east. Most specifically, it looks like New Year's, Christmas Eve during the early morning hours up into the New England states, and maybe another little quick shot of lake effect snow bands for, upstate New York and northern Pennsylvania, Christmas Day into Thursday. So just that's kind of a little quick broad brush of what you can expect. The rest of the country should be okay for travel. So a lot of the delays, I think, outside of maybe some of those minor snow problems that could trickle down, as they sometimes do, I think are going to be strictly due to volume. So just make sure you're paying attention to your individual flight before we head out the door. Now, obviously very warm to wrap up the year. I took you into Sunday. Coming up next, we'll talk about how long the warm temperatures stick around. I am seeing a pattern flip as we do enter into the new year at some point. So we'll have more details on that coming up next here on Weather Week.
Audible's best of 2024 picks are here. Discover the year's top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals in all your favorite genres. From memoirs and sci-fi to mysteries and thrillers, Audible's curated list in every category is the best way to hear 2024's best in audio entertainment. Like a stunning new full-cast production of George Orwell's 1984. Heartfelt memoirs like Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's Lovely One. The year's best fiction, like The Women by Kristen Hanna, and Percival Everett's brilliantly subversive James. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Go to audible.com/imagine and discover all the year's best waiting for you.
Did you know that you can make your life-saving donation to Doctors Without Borders go even further? Whether you donate stock, recommend a grant through your donor-advised fund, or make an IRA-qualified charitable distribution, you can take advantage of strong market performance this year to maximize your charitable impact. Making it possible for Doctors Without Borders to stay ready to respond in more than 70 countries around the world. Together we go further. Explore ways to give at doctorswithoutborders.org/podcast.
Let's do a quick recap here of the climate stats, obviously next week. And we will do a podcast next week. We'll do kind of a quick recap of the month. And then the following week, when everybody heads back to work and school, we'll do a recap of the month, the season, and the year for 2024, okay? They'll give us some time to kind of compile all the data and everything like that. So, for now, the precip for the month, because we've had some pretty decent bouts of heavy rain. We're just shy of 2 inches of rainfall. That puts us up plus 7/100ths of an inch and well above last year. We were at about 0.85 at this point last year. Snowfall to date for the month, 0.9. So just shy of an inch. We are down 2.8 inches of snow, and it will look like we're probably going to be well below average in snowfall for the month of December. It has been the highest amount that we've had in a little while. Remember last year we didn't actually get our first snow until New Year's Eve, and it wasn't much. So just shy of an inch for the month, for the season. And since beginning of the snow season, we're up to 4.2. that actually isn't far off from average. So we did a little bit better in November, obviously, with some of the snow at 0.4 inches of snowfall. We're down 0.4 inches for the snow season so far. So all in all, not bad. Okay, let's talk pattern flip here. So temperature wise, I mentioned going into the 29th, that'd be next Sunday. Highs will be in the mid 50s. We start to see a decline in temperatures as we head into New Year's week. All right, Monday the 30th, I think we're still pretty mild for this time of year. Highs near 50. Tuesday in the mid 40s. That's New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Day, I've got highs around 40, which is just slightly above where we should be for this time of year. Now, just looking at some of the long-term, what we call ensemble runs, right? And when you start getting into, past a week, you really have to kind of look at trends. Temperatures, we get a little bit a better gauge on. And it looks like starting on New Year's Eve in the evening, we start to see a colder core of air that will start to settle in to the eastern half of the country. And so while we'll be talking and experiencing below average or above average temperatures, basically, Christmas week and at least the first half of New Year's week, I think we're going to begin the new year below average. Thursday, Friday, so the 2nd and the 3rd look pretty cold. The weekend, maybe not as cold. I think the core of the coldest air is probably going to be on the 2nd and the 3rd. But then that would put us with highs generally into the upper 20s and lower 30s as it would appear right now. All right. Obviously, a lot's going to change between now and then. And when it comes to precip, who knows? But you're going to be getting more of a northwest flow that kind of opens the gate up for clipper systems that originate from Canada. Usually clipper systems don't have a lot of moisture, but they can pack a pretty good punch of, maybe a quick couple of inches of snowfall and then a shot of cold air. So that's going to be kind of the pattern that we're going to be entering into. Do we get in line for some of those clippers? That's the question that we'll have to answer. It's just too far out to be certain for that. But you certainly are going to have the cold air conditions in place. It looks like as we kind of enter into the new year and probably staying pretty chilly with slightly below average temperatures, not extreme as we get back to normal on the 6th of January, which would be the first day of school for many kiddos for the second semester and back to work for pretty much everybody. Okay. So that's pretty much where we stand now in the long term. So just be advised. We got a long way to go before we get through the winter season. Okay. That'll do it for me. Always love to hear your feedback. You can shoot me an email anytime, marcus.bailey@wishtv.com. I'm also on social media. On Facebook, just search for Marcus Bailey Weather. That'll get you to my my weather page. And then I'm also on Instagram and X at Marcus Bailey, just at Marcus Bailey. And love to hear you. We can dialogue there and be a good time. Also, you can get our forecast if you're going to be traveling around. Quite a handy tool, our StormTrack 8 weather app. It has GPS locations, so you can just set it to where you are going if you're going to be traveling here over the next 2 weeks for the holiday. Very handy tool. I don't expect any severe weather, but if there's any alerts, whether it be snow or fog or anything like that, you can get them there, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change your locations or anything like that. So it's a great tool. It's got interactive radar. It's got traffic maps too. Really good for this time of year if you're going into unfamiliar territory and needing to get around places. You can always check those maps there on our StormTrack 8 weather app. You can also get our forecast 24 hours a day at our website, wishtv.com/weather. Hope you check that out. You can also get my forecast on the TV side Monday through Friday on Channel 8, Wish TV, locally in central Indiana, starting at 4 a.m. and lasting until 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. Hope to see you there. And while you're here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have a wonderful week and a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. We will talk to you soon. Take care and have a great, great holiday. God bless you.
Discover more Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.